Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
Good morning, everyone. It's Wednesday, April 24th. My name is John Pieranunzi, and this is the opening swing. Let's get to it. We're running a little bit late. Hair and makeup went long. Just kidding. There's no hair and makeup. All right, let's begin, as we always do, with the news. Out of Europe, not a whole bunch. We had a IFO business climate survey. Not a huge deal, and nothing else too big. A bond auction for those that trade the interest rate complex, specifically European. And but for us, the big thing that we want to be aware of, our 8:30 news driver, is durable goods. We also have there's the mortgage app survey at 7. Not really a big deal, which has already come out. And there is the petroleum report for those that trade the energy complex. Then we have a few auctions later. So that's what we have in front of us for news. Nothing real big. Durable goods is the big one for us. And if you trade crude or the energy complex, the petroleum report. We're going to look at monthly candles here. Quickly touching on the chart environment. This is TradingView, just a free account. I'm a longtime user of Linsoft IRT. Currently kind of in the process of making a switch to Sierra chart. It's not going to be a quick change. It'll take me a while to learn all of that, but anyway, so this rather shambolic chart environment will get better, and we'll be able to illustrate our points better. But this is what we're working with now, and it's just fine. So because the big thing we want to look here, monthly candles. What have we emphasized with the monthly candles? One time framing higher for 5 months. And then what happened was we broke the one time framing higher at the 5126s, which was the level that we've been talking about for a long time. Put in this low. This low was on news on the escalation out of the Middle East, and we've recovered, and we have not retested this low. So the reason we're looking at this chart is I just want to open you up to the possibility that the April lows are in. We have 5 trading days left in April. That's a possibility. Let's look at the weekly chart. So if we have a hypothesis that maybe the April lows are in, what would that suggest to us on the weekly time frame? That would suggest, obviously, that this low would hold. This weekly low has a pretty good chance of holding. And maybe we get either an inside week, or we maybe get a run for this high. That high is 52.13 quarter, full session. Let's look at our daily chart, if I can find it. Here's our daily chart, full session candles. So we know what's going on in this area. We've talked about it plenty. We see this low. That's the low I was just talking about. Yesterday I emphasized that we broke the one time framing, but that was balanced until we were able to prove the ability for buyers to continue. I said that would happen with a push above the prior high and likely a settlement above. So we got that. And then we also got the continuation straight up through to our key area. So that's where we're at today. This is still a crucial area. And the big target above, for me, if we continue, is the 5150 region. So we're just going to move. We're not going to look at the TPO chart today. I'm having a little bit of issues with it, so we're going to just continue to the actually the 20 box PNF. So here's the 20 box PNF chart. And again, it's pretty busy, but there are some important things to look at here. So I want to kind of draw your attention. Let's look here first. So this is our initial impulse lower, and then we had this very tight balance. When this balance broke lower, we dropped to the 50s, which is right here. We reverted higher about 50 points, almost to the 5100s, and we kind of bounced 50s, 5100s, 50s, 5100s. Uh-oh, trouble here, and we continued. This was the news. So for me, this area and this very balanced profile is really important because we've gotten back above the 50/50s, which were a huge level, and now we're back within this area. And if you remember yesterday, I had a big blue band around this whole area, and that's where we were looking to push. This area also very important here. Something else I'll mention, I don't want to go too long here, but something else I'll mention, like there was a feeling here, at least for me, I don't want to talk about feelings too much, but because I shouldn't, but the way this price action happened, to me, there was a feeling of institutional selling here, an institutional offer. That offer needed to seek lower prices to get filled. And then once we got down to here, and especially this day, what I was thinking, I was not expecting the break. I mean, we planned for the break. I wasn't as sold on the break higher as I wasn't that sold on it, but it kind of had a feeling that down here, rather than kind of tightening and breaking, this just sort of wafted around and then went higher. That to me kind of suggested that this rally was happening not because an offer had pushed us down here and then the offer was filled, but it kind of felt like the offer was still up here, and down here there was just a lack of interest, a lack of supply, and then we just had to float higher to find the supply. So that's what I'm feeling here. So that's what I kind of the impression I got. And what had happened was we did kind of, once the selling pressure was off, we floated right back up to this key area. And so we're now in this key area. This is this green area is very important to me because I'm looking at this as the last fight that happened before the sellers won. And now we've returned to this last fight area where the sellers have won, and we seem to be holding as of now. There are single prints in this 90s area. They are right here down at 89.5 are the single prints. Those are important today. Single prints, 89.5. If you're a Convergent member, you have the you have those available to you. I'm going to pause this real quick as we get ready to go over scenarios. Okay, here we are at the 8 box, and we're going to talk about scenarios. I did not get the Epic pen ready. I should have. All right, we're going to discuss bullish ideas first because I'm coming into today with a bullish bias as long as these single prints stay open. And really, we're kind of looking at the area from the single prints to really settlement as an area of support. So the single prints, like I said, 89.5, settlement is at 06.5. So I'm looking at this area initially as support. This is what, until this is proven wrong, this is what I'm entering the day with. So let's think about what would happen if we get the most bullish idea possible. Let me actually get rid of that one, and we'll go to this. So if we get our bullish idea, our most bullish idea, so we have settlement down to singles, and we just got a touch here. So and we have this zipper. So if the most bullish idea happens, that means I'm not expecting this area below settlement. I'm not expecting this to go offered. So there's two kind of ways it could happen. Same as yesterday, really. We could either hold this area into the open, This could happen pre-open, it could happen post-open. But anyway, we kind of hold this area. Maybe we give a bit of a test lower at some point, but we open in a gap, some type of a gap open, maybe an attempt to fill. I feel like we tend to maybe leave the gap open or test and reject. But anyway, the key is if we get up into this prior month's high area, here's our overnight high. So if we get up into there and we're able to hold, again, I'm thinking bullish. We've went over these prices. The 40s are a speed bump. The 5150s are the key target, this area. So if this happens, if we are able to, once again, hold, if we open up here, we hold these prices, this low holds, meaning the gap to settle stays, maybe the session gap even stays, but the key is we get here and we hold it. If we get there and we hold it, I am looking for continuation to the 40s. And then if that is able to, once again, hold the prior day's range, I'm looking for continuation to the 50s. And that is my key target today. This is the most bullish idea out of what could happen, which once again would leave a gap to settle, potentially leave a session gap, get into the, get above the 26s and continue. Most bullish idea. Let's discuss other ways this could kind of get bullish. I will note, oops. This is our 2-day VWAP, this white line. So what's another way this could get bullish? What could happen is we could come out today and everybody could start thinking that we need to buy this. Everyone could be thinking what we're thinking. And what could happen is we could instead maybe make an attempt, fall, go down, fall back lower, take out this low, take settlement. Like this would be maybe an open right on the edge of the prior range, a test higher that does not get the overnight high. And then we start trending lower, we get settlement. Now, if we start trending lower to get settlement, I will not be aggressively short. I mean, contextually, we'll see what happens, but I likely will not be aggressively short until I see this test, because we could channel lower, we could get this test, and then rally. Back above settlement, same thing. Back to here, and then all the same thing. So two bullish ideas right here. One, we hold settlement or test and quickly reject. We get to the high. Bullish idea two, we instead kind of have a quieter open. We grind lower and we get to the singles, and then we see kind of some reversion, or yeah, some push higher, gets the overnight high. And then potentially, if we had to expend all this energy to get up here, maybe we get to this target, maybe we get to this one, I'm not sure. But if we have a push down to settlement, then I'll be looking more, or if we have a push down to the singles, I'll be looking, and we get a long signal, I'll be looking for settlement and the potentially the overnight high. And then if this happens, that'll be better. But so bullish scenario one, likely hold or reject settle, overnight high, and potentially continue. Bullish idea two, we go a little further, we take out the single prints, but this continues higher. Let's talk about ways that could not happen. Let's discuss that. We'll discuss our bearish ideas. So obviously one possibility for a bearish idea is we could get the push higher here, but this area is very, very resisted, and we could get kind of a push and a fall back. And then if we see that, and then a third high that doesn't get there, and we fall back to settlement, then that to me would kind of signify that there's actually some pretty strong selling up there. And then I would kind of like, my bullishness would be tempered. And then if we get something like that, I would expect settlement, and I would expect to hear. Now, if we get this test, like I said, this is an area that I think I would expect support on the initial touch. But if we get this test and then we go back up higher here and we can't get past settlement or outer range, then we could continue the price exploration lower. So this is one way it could happen. We could get that test, but then it could just sort of fail. And if that happens, I would look for us to hit settlement, fall through, hit these singles, but then fail to get back out of range. And that to me would say, okay, the bullish bias is not happening in the way that, that we expected. What else could happen here? If we start to expand prices lower, if that would happen, through here, the key next area I would be looking for are the 76s. If we would start to fall, like if we get some type of action up here that then can't get through settlement, can't get through back out of range, we start to explore lower. I think it'll be a, I don't think we're going to release. I don't think it'll be a hardcore release. I think it'd be more of a grinding sort of trend where you'd see maybe deep pullbacks that push through levels, but then come back and slightly make a slightly lower low and then go. And that's a frustrating way to trade. But that we might get that if we start going down. I'm not expecting us to just fall. I'm not expecting that. I think there's support in this area, and I think each one of these zones will be supported. So that's if we get excursion below this. Now, I could be totally wrong. We could just fall out of bed. That's a possibility. But for me, I'm thinking that if we break below the singles, I think it'll be kind of more of a grind because, as I've said, in this area below the 5100s and especially getting deeper, the last time we were down there, it appeared that there was not a lot of supply. That could change, but that's what it appears now. So anyway, we have went over bullish ideas, two of them. One kind of holds or rejects the settlement. The other one tests down to the singles and continues. Our bearish ideas, we just had the one where we could test higher, fail and go. We also could get the bearish idea, like I've said, that just doesn't even give any kind of that test and just sort of tries, fails. And everybody is buying these lows thinking that we're going to get the rally, but it could just kind of, we could get that without the test. So very similarly, same thing without the test. However, I'll note that if we actually don't take this high out, that would kind of be interesting to me, because if we don't get that high initially, I'd still be a little bit more open to the bullish idea that we'd kind of continue up and take this high. Something else very, very important to mention, 1275s, which is the prior day's high right here. Prior day's RTH high. That was a triple top on the TPO. My TPO chart isn't loading correctly, so we're not using it today. But be aware, this was a triple top on the TPO. So that opens us up, in my opinion, to one more possibility, and that's that we just get a mess around here. With this being a triple top, so our go nowhere scenario would be if this kind of tries higher, this kind of then fails, tries lower to the singles, and then tries higher again, doesn't really do anything in this area. Be aware of this possibility. It's Wednesday. We might get this. The thing is, with the single prints, or I'm sorry, the triple top at 1275, which is right here, that means there was a lot of attention from both sides at that price. So that's why I'm flagging this as something that could happen. Attention from both sides at this price. It might, rather than getting what we want, which is a decision and excursion in one way or another, this area might still need to chop around before it makes a decision, and we do something more interesting Thursday, maybe into Friday. But so that's what I'm seeing today, guys. Again, I go long, but I kind of want to make sure I'm complete here, and hopefully I am. This is just, as we go along, I'll continue to get better here to present this information as well as I can. Right now, what you're basically seeing, this is like the Truman Show. This is just what I do every morning regardless. And so there will be a process of kind of doing what I can to make it a little bit better for you guys. But that's what I'm seeing today. I gave you two bullish ideas. I gave you really two bearish ideas. But the key prices we want to be aware of, the overnight high, the prior settlement. Let's just get rid of this. Key prices to be aware of today: prior high, prior settle, really the prior settle, and yesterday's high, so this area, and then our single prints here. In between this, really tough, potentially trouble. If we get a break in either direction, we just went over what's going on. I think it'll be more grindy here. I think it'll be more grindy in both directions. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully this helps you guys. This is longer than it's ever been. FT is probably like, why did I let this guy just start talking? But anyway, I wish you all the best of luck today. Hope you can make it a good day. I hope you can be kind to other people today, because that's really how success happens. So let's do it, guys. Let's clock some ticks. Have a good one.